Welcome to Arcades, the Strategist. As far as your opening hand goes, this looks wonderful. I'm going to keep it. We got Soul Ring and Ancient Tomb. Yes, I'm going to keep. We don't really... Well, I mean, we've got Fell the Mighty is always a really nice one-sided board wipe. But basically, we've got... yeah, let's go and get the turn going, then I'll talk about what we've got going on. Let's go and get down Waste, and let's go and go for Soul Ring. Anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. The thing I love about our hand is that we have the 3 colors for Arcades, and we've got Soul Ring, which is kind of, I'm really light on manas, or at least mana rocks in here, stuff like Soul Ring and Mana Crypt, because it doesn't really help us get down Arcades as quickly as possible. So if you have all the colorless mana in the world, that does not help you get down a bunch of walls that are Bant colors. So it's nice to have Soul Ring. Long story short, I was really excited to see that, as you can tell. Let's go ahead and get down Hollowed Fountain. And then we'll be online for Arcades next turn. I think I like that, yeah. Not going to pay 2 life, and we're going to kick the turn over to our opponent. But yes, welcome to Arcades. I hope you're excited to build a wall like Game of Thrones and keep Kozilek out, the Ice Dragon. We're playing Arcades, the Strategist. Flying in Vigilance. Whenever a creature with Defender enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. Then each creature you control with Defender assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power, and can attack as though it did not have Defender. And our opponent will get down a Smuggler's Copter, and... we'll have to call a flavor judge to see if Kozilek can fit in that or not. Let's go ahead and get down, well, get down Flooded Strand. Well, actually, yeah, let's do this. I'm not Wooded Foothills, excuse me. Let's get down Yavimaya Coast. Let's go and go for Arcades. A little expensive, but just to kind of see what we've got going on in our hand, that's fine. Maybe we want to hold on to Wooded Foothills for a certain dual source we might need here in just a little bit. So let's go and get down Arcades, and then we'll go and pass the turn to our opponent. Now, we do have Wall of Resistance, which is really nice. Sorry, my... a little bit of a hiccup right there, and then anything else will kick it back over. But yeah, so we do have Wall of Resistance. We can get that down next turn. That will allow us to go for some card draw. At the beginning of each instep, if it was dealt damage, you also get to put a +0/+1 counter on it, which will really work out with Arcades. But we'll probably end up going for Wall of Resistance, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we draw into another Defender. That we can kind of keep that Defender chain going. And actually, let's cover Kozilek real quick before I start just talking about the deck. We're playing against Kozilek, the Great Distortion, which is actually my favorite Eldrazi. I always talk about not liking Eldrazi, and I'll explain that here in a second, but Kozilek is definitely my favorite. Let's do this. Let's go and go for Wall of Resistance. It's going to be a Hollowed Fountain and then Soul Ring. And I will remember that Arcades does have Vigilance. I always forget that, which is drives me nuts, and it drives you nuts as a viewer too. So, and we draw into Mizium Skin. Okay, that's good. Let's do this. Let's just go and get down Temple Garden, have that go into play tapped, and then let's go and swing in with Arcades, and that'll still keep us on for Mizium Skin Overloaded, which will give us some good protection. So let's go and swing in for a 3/5 in the air. Get in for 3, knock them down to 27, and then we will kick it back over to our opponent. So we're on a 6-turn clock with commander damage, so if you came for some Arcade Voltron without the fun stuff of Voltron, this is the video for you. But yeah, so we covered Kozilek. When you cast a spell, if you have fewer than 7 cards in hand, draw cards equal to the difference, Menace, and then discard a card with converted mana cost X, counter target spell, converted mana cost X. So one of my favorite things about Kozilek is that you cast them for 10 mana, and this is definitely a 10 mana creature spell. It has Menace, you get to draw a few more cards, you can discard a card to start countering stuff, but outside of that, it's not that overpowered. You know, you're not exiling their library, you're not going for Annihilator triggers. I've just always really enjoyed Kozilek, because at 10 mana, you should get something that has Kozilek's ability, and he's definitely one of my favorite Eldrazi. I just love the ability of being able to discard a card with converted mana cost X to counter something. I don't know, you just don't really get that ability in colorless deck, so I always found that really interesting. But yes, Kozilek is definitely my favorite Eldrazi. Other than that, I'm just not a huge fan of Eldrazi to begin with. Let's go for Wall of Kelp. That is one of the combo pieces that we do have in this deck. It's kind of like a 3-piece combo, so it's really a bit more of a kind of a circus combo, but hey, it still works. You get down Axebane Guardian, Wall of Kelp, and you just end up with a lot of stuff. Let's go ahead and get down Wooded Foothills. Let's go ahead and get down Soul Ring. That way we can get down Signet. And I guess at this point right now, we can still just go ahead and swing in. They can crew up Smuggler's Copter, which is going to be a 3/3, so let's not... yeah, let's go ahead and swing it with Arcades. You know, we might be able to somehow get some command, or every point of damage is going to matter anyway in a matchup like this. So let's go and swing it for a 3/5. We'll see if they want to trade with that Smuggler's Copter or not. That will give them some card advantage, but it looks like they will not be going for that. So let's go and swing it for 3. It's going to put them down to 24. That will be 6 commander damage, and we will pass it over to Kozilek, see if he can't get on the battlefield. Now, as far as Arcady goes, if you've not seen Arcades, this is pretty much what the deck wants to do. Get down Arcades and start casting a lot of these creatures, these defenders, and start casting some really nice card draw. Now, as far as some of the new creatures to the deck, we did add, where are you? We had Portcullis Vine, which is from Guilds of Ravnica. Also added Wall of Mist, which I'm pretty sure is a Guilds of Ravnica defender card. I think it's also an M19 possibly. And then, let's see, that's going to be 8 mana they're tapping out for. See what they're tapping down for. And then we also added, oh, there's one more card that we added, but I cannot remember. Oh, it's the Suspicious Bookcase. I don't know, I just really enjoyed the fact that we get to run Arcades. And that's one of the fun things about this deck, is you need to run around, 25, 28, 30 creatures with Defender. So your choices are very limited as far as what you... Ooh, we got Karn coming down. Alright, so let's see if they end up going for the -3. That's going to allow us to go for Mizium Skin, and then we can swing in on the back end and hit Karn for some pretty good damage, especially with Metalworker being tapped out. So let's see who they decide to target off of Mizium Skin. Who they decide to target off of Karn, and that'll put us on Mizium Skin, giving everybody Hexproof. Alright, they're going to exile Arcades. Let's go for Mizium Skin. Actually, let's go and crack Wooded Foothills. And we do have 2 blue-white sources, 2... Let's grab another blue-green source. Let's grab Breeding Pools. Have that come into play tapped. Not going to pay 2 life. Let's go and go for Temple Garden. And let's go for Mizium Skin Overloaded. Mizium Skin is so good in this deck. It's it's kind of basically Heroic Intervention number 2, but at the same time, well, it doesn't give us Indestructible, but being a protection spell and also being a board buff, that would allow us to swing in for 14 on our opponent if we were doing our combat steps. So there's just multiple ways that you can definitely utilize Mizium Skin in Arcades deck. So I highly recommend that card, and especially stuff like Mnemonic Wall. Enters the battlefield, return target instant or sorcery card, so we can return that back and have more than enough mana to take care of that. But with our opponent being tapped out, no way to crew up Smuggler's Copter, we will go and swing across on our opponent. So it's going to take care of Karn. Let's send in Wall of Resistance at Karn. We're going to send Arcades in at our opponent. And then with Wall of Kelp, we're going to go and leave that up. That way we can go for an activation. And then, at least at this point right now, we're going to get some more protection for Mizium Skin. I think that would be the best thing for us. Alright, so take care of Karn, knock our opponent down to 9 commander damage, and put them down to 21. Let's go and get down Ancient Tomb. Yeah, and let's go for Wall. I think I like that. And we're going to be a little aggressive on this one. We've got some life total. It's our resource. So let's go for Mizium, get down a Mnemonic Wall, and we're going to go grab Mizium Skin out of our graveyard. Alright, so we draw into Catacombs. We're going to bring back Mizium Skin. Yes, we're going to use that ability. And let's go and get down Wall of Junk. It's just such a fun... This is what I'm talking about. You start building these Arcades decks, and, Wall of Junk is an all-star in this deck. But... it like literally is what it is. It's a wall of junk, which is, I don't know, it's just really cool to win with certain magic cards. It's kind of like when you go Bear Tribal or some other tribes that you build, or like Spider Tribal. When you build Spider Tribal, the art on these Spider Tribal cards are just like so amazing. It's the art looks the cards are bad, but the art looks so good. Like there's some really you look at it and you're like, yeah, I like that. I wish this card was good, but it's not. But that's kind of what we've got going on with Arcades. It's just a lot of fun stuff like wall, and especially like whenever it blocks, return it to its owner's hand. It's a 0/7, which is pretty much just, I don't know, it's just good. Okay, opponent will end up going for Kozilek, and we do have Fail the Mighty, which will definitely allow us to destroy pretty much everything except Metalworker on the battlefield. So if we wanted to kind of, we'll see how much mana we've got. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's going to keep us off 6. Actually, that's going to be perfect for us to go for Fail the Mighty, destroy everything, and then still be able to swing in. Let's go and go for Wall of Kelp activation. That way we can cash in just one more card draw. Get that plant token on the battlefield. Alongside Wall of Junk, we've got Wall of Kelp, which is pretty good. And look at that token. I like it. All right, so we do draw into Wall of Omens. All right, let's kick it back over to our turn, and we draw into Worn Power Stone. We do have a plains or an island. That is correct. So let's go and get down Glacial Fortress. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go and go for we'll go for Fail the Mighty, and then we can recast Arcades and swing in. I like that. Because if we swing in right now, they're just going to block on Arcades and take care of them. So I'm just going to go for Fail the Mighty. And actually, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. We should have targeted the 0 creature recast, but either way, we're going to have Mizium skin, so that might actually make a difference with us going for Mizium skin, because that's going to be 1, 2. Our opponent's going to scoop it up on this one, so we go for Mizium skin. That's going to make it 2. That's going to be 10. That's going to be 15. That's going to be 19. The Wall of Resistance, that'll put it at 23. Yeah, that's going to be lethal right there. So basically, once we go for Mizium skin, that's going to give everybody +0, +1, and we'll definitely be able to swing in with all these. And, you know, you can see how potent the deck is. We're able to at least kind of keep Kozilek at bay, and especially using something like Mizium skin to kind of protect ourselves from Karn. You see how mad Karn is that we protected ourselves. And then we can also use Mizium skin as another way to kind of buff the board and deal some really nice combat damage to our opponent. So if you enjoyed your time at the wall, don't fall off, and like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. Welcome to Arcades, the Strategist. As far as our opening hand goes, we have Mystic Gate and Signet. If we had one more land, we're on the play. Do we want to... This is such a risky hand to keep. We don't have green. No, well, why am I even thinking about this? Let's go on mulligan. If we hit the green source, it's wonderful. Yes, okay, we'll keep on this one. It's a lot better. We've got Crossroads. We'll definitely hold on to Crossroads. I don't think we want to give our opponent Crossroads. Forest, let's put that on top. And then, yeah, let's go and pass turn our opponent. Let's let them get the game started. So we are playing Arcades, the Strategist. Flying and Vigilance, whenever a creature defender enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. Each creature controlled defender assigns combat damage equal to its difference rather than its toughness, and it can attack as though it did not have defender. I'm sorry, I was thinking about me like potentially keeping that hand, and that was so clunky. Let's go and kick it back over there to our opponent. We're playing against a Lovisa Cold Eyes, and she's giving us the Cold Eyes right now. Each creature that's a barbarian, a warrior, or a berserker gets +2/+2 and has haste. So opponent's going to go for impact trimmers. Let's go and crack a Polluted Delta, and you saw Kozilek for a second. Let's go and grab Prairie Stream. There we go. Come into play too. I don't know why Magic Online does that sometimes. Like, you like do a trigger real quick and it pulls up card art from the last game, but that's what happens. Let's go and get down Harbor, because that's going to come into play because we do have an island. We can go for 3 visits to get another land down. Yeah, that'll put us online for turn 4 Arcades. I like that. And it still allows us to hold on to Gatecreeper Vine to search up another guild gate. So let's get this popped out. We're just going to grab another white source, especially since we have a green source in the hand. So let's go and grab Temple Garden. I have that coming to play. Not going to pay 2 live. And then we'll go and pass the turn to our opponent. We did cover both commanders, so it is officially free time. You can do what you want. Whatever we want. We're going to talk about video games. No Magic today. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so we can get down Arcades, and we'll go for Gatecreeper Vine. That'll allow us to cash in a card draw and make the land drop for next turn. We do have Suspicious Bookcase, which is a brand new card for Arcades, at least a brand new card since the last time I recorded Arcades. And I don't know, I just love it. Defender, target creature can't be blocked this turn. And it works out wonderful for this deck because there's a lot of times you have like a 0/7 wall of junk on the battlefield, and getting down Suspicious Bookcase for 3 mana allows you to swing across and deal some damage to our opponent. Okay, so our opponent did get down Jaya with Impact Trimmers. Doing a tap out for Arcades. They only have 3 cards in the hand. We could go for Lightning Greaves and then go for it next turn. Yeah, let's just go and get down Arcades. I like that. We'll worry about Lightning Greaves next turn. And I just started tapping. I didn't even look what I was doing. There we go. All right. So we get down Arcades, and then anything else, kick it back over there. But yeah, as far as Arcades goes, if you haven't seen this deck before, it is a ton of fun. You get to cast a lot of stuff like Suspicious Bookcase, Gatecreeper Vine, get some card draw, get some land drops going, and then swing in with Arcades and deal some beautiful combat damage to our opponent. Now, one of the ways that this deck really shines is that is a one-sided board wipe. That's something that gives us a huge advantage in this deck, being able to demolish, destroy target artifact or land. Well, they definitely took care of that land. Luckily, we've got Gatecreeper. Now, here's the kicker. Do we want to go for Lightning Greaves to protect Arcades at this point? If they would have had some removal, they probably would have used it. So let's go for Gatecreeper Vine. And this does kind of bring the question of whether or not we should swing in, get down Crossroads and swing in for a 0/2. Let's go ahead and go for, yes, we're going to use that ability. And if they go for that 7 mana activation, we're still going to be okay. So let's go and grab Forest, I guess, at this point. That way we can, well, do we want to grab a Plains? Yeah, we've got a lot of greens. So let's go grab Plains. It's going to go under hand. We'll also get an additional card draw. Draw into Yavimaya Coast. It's going to get down Plains. And then let's go ahead and go for, well, instead of them going for an activation with Jade, let's go and get down Lightning Greaves. That way we can get down shield bearers and get the lightning greaves onto shield bearers and be in a good position. All right, let's go and get lightning greaves onto gatekeeper vine. Let's go and swing across for a 5. If opponent wants to block with Jaya, they certainly can. That'll get rid of the activated ability. If not, we'll get in for 2 and get in for 3 in the air, knock our opponent down to 25, and then let them take their turn. So kick it back over there. But yeah, with Crossroads, this is a wonderful card for the deck because there's a lot of times where the converted mana cost of this deck really just kind of tops out at 2 or 3. So you're getting down a ton of defender creatures. You have access to a ton of mana, and being able to swing in that turn, simply just getting down Crossroads and giving everybody haste is a wonderful thing to do. Opponent's going to go for Smelt, destroy lightning greaves. Yeah, go for it. That's perfectly fine. So they're not off to a really crazy start, so they're only sitting at 4 mana just like us, but thankfully with Arcades, we have a ton of card advantage with card draw. So if we're both going to be stuck on a few lands for a little bit, or at least not really getting down, Soul Ring and Worn Power Stone, stuff like that, having card draw in a matchup like this is definitely going to hopefully be the deciding factor once we build up a really nice board state. Now, if we can get into position to where we can kind of protect the rest of our creatures, I'd like to keep up Heroic Intervention. That will allow us to kind of dodge something like Jay's activation for 7 mana, but we'll worry when it gets a little bit closer to that 7 mana activation, because right now we're just staring at her, looking at a sassy. So let's see what we draw into. Draw into Marsh Flats. Let's go ahead and let's go for Suspicious Bookcase. Yeah, we're okay with that. Let's get down Suspicious Bookcase. Draw into Drift of Phantasms. Let's go ahead and get down Yavimaya Coast. Actually, Drift of Phantasms, we can search up something for 3 mana, which would be Axebane Guardian, or something like Congregation at Dawn, which you can really get some good card advantage with that. Let's go ahead and grab Congregation at Dawn. That'll be 3 lands. We have the additional land drop to make 2. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go for Marsh Flats. Let's go and grab Tundra, because we at least need another white source. Let's go and go for Transmute on Drift of Phantasms. Let's get this popped out. So basically with Congregation at Dawn, this is going to allow us to put 3 cards on top of our library, or if we want to go for some really good card advantage, we can go for something like one of our bounce spells like Ghostly Flicker to exile some stuff and then get some really good card draw. Or if we go for Aura Shards, it's going to allow us to kind of clean up Champion's Helm and Impact. Let's go for Aura Shards. I think that's a little bit of a safer play. Let's go ahead and go for Arcades, swinging across. Actually, pretty much Aura Shards is our only source of artifact or enchant removal on the deck. We do have Disenchant, so but that's kind of a lot of artifact and removal for me to run, especially in a deck like this that's just jam-packed full of defender cards. So there's sometimes my approach to building certain decks where I run really light on artifact and enchant removal is just like, well, if we build it without breaks and we go fast enough, we'll win. So that's kind of the way this Arcades deck operates, is that we can basically just get into a position where we just get so much stuff on the board that our opponent just can't deal with it, and we win the game. So that's kind of our game plan. But if this was like a multiplayer deck, I would definitely include more stuff like that. But yeah, Aura Shards is pretty much the only way that we can deal with any sort of artifact enchantment. So if we have an opportunity to tutor it up, we will definitely go for that. And I always like playing against Lovisa Cold Eyes, because I've always, there's a special place in my heart for barbarians and warriors and berserkers. They have typically they have some really nice flavor within Magic. It's always really cool to see that. But let's see what our opponent's going to roll out for the turn. They are tapping 5 mana, so we might actually see Lovisa come down. That will give Jaya, I think, +2/+2. No, excuse me, it's just a human spell shaper, so we'll be okay on that one. Okay, Lovisa's coming down. That's going to be 1 damage to each opponent, put us down to 26, and she's simply just a 3/3 at this point right now. So we'll be able to get down Aura Shards and get down Shield Bearers, and at the same time give us a really nice power, give us a toughness bonus, no power bonus off of that. Let's go ahead and get down Yavimaya Coast. Let's go for Aura Shards. And let's go and go for Shield Bearers. We're going to get a card draw, and let's go and target Champion's Helm or Impact Trimmer. Let's go for Champion's Helm. Well, I guess technically it doesn't really matter. Let's go for Impact Trimmers. I doubt there's a way they're going to combo off, but at least we just take care of Impact Trimmers. We don't have to. Champion's Helm it's beatable. Let me put it that way. We can still target it. So, and drawn to Glacial Fortress. All right. Now, we can swing in if we want to as the Shield Bearers, if we get down Crossroads. Yeah, let's go and go for Crossroads. Let's go. All right, so we're going to be able to swing it with Arcades. Let's go for Gatecreeper Vine, Suspicious Bookcase, and the Shield Bearers. Now, if they do end up blocking with Shield Bearers, at least we're going to be able to trade with Jaya or Lovisa Cold Eyes. So either way, we're just going to get in some damage because, yeah, with them only sitting at one card and us basically allowing us to kind of get some card draw and get creatures down, we can put some really good pressure on our opponent. It's always nice to be the aggressor against a mono red deck when you're playing a defender deck. All right, I think, yep, opponent scooped it up, so we will take it on this one. You can see where, like I mentioned, you can be our opponent didn't really get off to a crazy start, but neither did we. But since we got down Arcades, we're able to keep Arcades on the battlefield, start casting some defenders. That allows us to kind of keep that card draw going. And with Aura Shards on the battlefield, it's pretty much going to allow us to keep control of whatever our opponent decides to get on the board state. And against a bunch of barbarians and warriors who are 2/2s and 3/3s, when you have a bunch of 0/6s and 0/4s on the battlefield, it makes your job just a little bit easier to kind of be the aggressor in this particular matchup. So, good game to our opponent. Definitely enjoyed it. And if you enjoyed the video, enjoyed your time on the wall, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.